5 on your side at 10 starts now.
The hot streak continues. Our weather impact alert, a few more days. How long the dangerous heat and humidity will stick around.
The extreme heat in St. Louis turns deadly as others fight tonight to stay cool in the dangerous temperatures. Resign or be removed.
I will not be removed from this office.
Tonight, new reaction as St. Louis's embattled sheriff fires back at the Attorney General's ultimatum.
5 on your side starts now with a weather impact alert.
It's a hot night at the ballpark for Cardinals fans dealing with the dangerous heat and the humidity. Right now, the St. Louis metro area is under a heat advisory for at least the next 48 hours. Good evening, I'm Randy Knott. Mike Bush has the night off.
And I'm Kelly Jackson. Weather impact meteorologist Jim Castillo tracking triple-digit heat indices and some spotty rain that is not bringing us any relief. And let's check in with Jim.
Yeah, hi guys. So that temperature right now, 86 degrees, and it still feels like 93. So maybe slightly better than this time last night. The humidity's high, that dew point at 73, and then overnight low this morning, 81. We're going to be close to that again, and that was a warm record overnight low temperature. We've never been so warm for an overnight low this time of year. So this is that heat advisory in orange. Most of the area except for Phelps County all the way through 9 p.m. on Thursday. It is hot, it is humid. Those heat indices, once again, about 105 in some of the hottest spots. St. Louis, Chesterfield, possibly a little bit higher if you get into a cornfield. Again, corn sweats at these high numbers, and then we get a little bit higher dew point, and then those numbers get really, really out of control. So a couple more days of this, and there is a cool down, plus a very good rain chance. I'll time that out coming up in just a few minutes.
Tonight, a Bridgeton woman contacted 5 on your side, claiming she, her daughter, and 8-month-old grandson have gone weeks without air conditioning in their apartment.
Now this as the sweltering temperatures contribute to the death of a woman in nearby St. Anne. Our Brent Solomon is just back from North County. Brent, what can you tell us?
Hey there, guys. When I interviewed that Bridgeton woman today, she was just leaving a community pool with her family. It's the best way, she says, they can stay cool after she says she's tried over and over to have her landlord fix the AC. Tonight, she's still waiting. We don't have to tell you it's hot outside. You can feel it right away.
I'm a single mom, so I'm at work, and my kids are the ones that have to sit at home.
This Bridgeton woman asked we not identify her. She lives here at the Cypress Village Apartments, and she says since the beginning of the month, she's tried to reach management to fix her AC.
The office is completely locked down. There's no one in the office, and no one's returning any phone calls.
She says this has been an ongoing issue. She's even completed multiple online maintenance requests. Take a look. June 1st, air is not working at all. Thermostat set to 65 and it's 80 in the apartment. June 20th, we are going on day 20 of no air. We are under a heat advisory.
People showed up one time and said that they would be back, and they've never come back.
So she packed up over the weekend and checked her family into a hotel. They checked out Tuesday because the $700 bill was adding up. It comes as a 55-year-old St. Anne woman named Shauna Thomas died in her home here at the Cabana Park Apartments. Authorities say she didn't have water or air conditioning for at least 3 days.
You need air conditioners, and people refuse to check on their neighbors. They have to do that. You can't do social media and think, wow, I have checked on Annie or Granny. You have to go visit them and see them.
This grandmother is hoping for a fix, and quick.
Every single room in my apartment has 2 fans going. It doesn't really help because it's only blowing hot air.
I reached out to Cypress Village Apartments via their contact page online and an out-of-state phone number. We have not heard back. The group Cool Down St. Louis is giving out AC units on a first-come, first-served basis, prioritizing seniors, people with disabilities, and veterans on fixed incomes.
And we have a growing list of resources to escape the heat on KSDK.com. There is also an interactive map of cooling centers around St. Louis. Text the word HEAT to 314-425-5355 and we will send you the link. Firefighters in Jefferson County had to battle the extreme temperatures as they battled a fire at a doggy daycare. The fire broke out this afternoon at the Howlin' Good Time Doggy Daycare and Hotel in Imperial. The building was heavily damaged, no people were hurt, and all the animals are accounted for tonight. The cause is under investigation. Rock Community Fire says extra manpower, water, and wet towels were brought in to help crews because of the dangerous heat.
Right now, the extreme heat is causing the pavement to buckle along Lenore K. Sullivan Boulevard. Take a look at this. It popped up on the riverfront right in front of the steps to the Gateway Arch. No word on a fix from city officials, though. However, the road will be part of the Celebrate St. Louis Fairgrounds next weekend. Now, road buckling is common during extreme heat and humidity because the pavement doesn't have room to expand. If you encounter one of these natural speed bumps, don't drive over it. The buckled pavement can be dangerous and cause damage to your car.
Tonight, a standoff between the St. Louis Sheriff and Missouri Attorney General. Andrew Bailey is demanding Alfred Montgomery resign or he'll work to remove him from office. This all comes after accusations of financial mismanagement and abuse of authority. 5 On Your Side's Laura Barcheski is live tonight with reaction from the sheriff and his predecessor.
Kelly Sheriff Alfred Montgomery says he is refusing to resign, which means at noon tomorrow, Missouri Attorney General Andrew Bailey will start the quo warranto process, or the removal proceeding process. Former Sheriff Vernon Betts called this entire situation an embarrassing mess for the city and says Montgomery is a detriment to the very office of sheriff. Missouri Attorney General Andrew Bailey said in a statement on Monday, St. Louis Sheriff Alfred Montgomery is facing repeated accusations of financial mismanagement, workplace misconduct, abuse of authority, and failure to perform his duties. Quote, the level of misconduct and instability demands immediate accountability. This would be the second time Bailey has pursued removal proceedings against a St. Louis elected official like this. It happened just 2 years ago with former Circuit Attorney Kim Gardner. Montgomery responded with his own statement but refused to take our questions.
Let me be very clear, that I will not resign. I was elected by the people of the city of St. Louis to serve as their sheriff, and I intend to honor that commitment.
Montgomery says he welcomes any lawful investigation or inquiry rooted in truth.
I have not been found guilty of any wrongdoing, and I will not be removed from this office.
His legal counsel, retired Judge David Mason, did answer our questions. He says right now he doesn't see any grounds for the sheriff to be forced out.
Now, if there's some, and say discovery, if there's some nice, interesting, hidden information that we're not aware of, we're going to find out about it without question. But as things now stand, there's no basis.
Judge, do you think the sheriff is doing an adequate job in meeting all of the requirements of his office?
Without question.
I asked former Sheriff Vernon Betts that same question.
No, he's not, because he's doing too many things that, one, not legal, and two, not justified.
One point of contention, transporting inmates to receive medical care. Mason says under the 8th Amendment, the party that has custody of inmates is responsible.
So that is the responsibility of the city.
Betts says that's always been the duty of the sheriff's office.
It's not a job that any Boy Scout can do. Those guys are people that could hurt you. They have to be transported by somebody with some learned skill.
The Attorney General is scheduled to be in St. Louis tomorrow, and they have actually opened up a tip line to report any misconduct surrounding the sheriff's office. That tip line is stlcorruption@ago.mo.gov. We'll also have the full interview with former Sheriff Vernon Betts on our website, ksdk.com. Reporting live downtown, Laura Barcheski, 5 on Your Side.
And Missouri Attorney General Andrew Bailey is expected to hold his news conference tomorrow at 12:30. We will stream it live on 5+. You can watch for free on your Roku, Apple, Fire, or Samsung TV. Just hours ago, several charges were filed against a man arrested after a police chase that led to a crash in Soulard. Police say Frederick Butler sped off after officers tried to stop him in Dutchtown Sunday afternoon. He was driving a stolen car. During the chase, a police cruiser hit another car near Soulard Market. 2 officers, a woman, and 2 children were taken to the hospital. According to court documents, Butler then drove recklessly through downtown traffic caused by a protest and the Cardinals game. He eventually crashed in the Central West End and was arrested. Police say he had a gun and drugs on him.
Tonight, it is official. There will not be an Annie Malone May Day parade this year. It was originally scheduled for May the 18th, just 2 days following the May 16th tornado that devastated North St. Louis. Organizers originally postponed the celebration to focus on storm cleanup and recovery efforts. Right now, 5 on Your Side is teaming up with the Urban League to help St. Louis tornado survivors. A special Amazon wish list has been set up for items like food, cleaning supplies, toiletries, batteries, and chargers. Text the word Amazon to 314-425-5355, and we will send that wish list straight to your phone. Right now, a St. Louis organization has launched a campaign to keep their camp afloat.
They're counting on the community to keep kids safe. New at 10, Justina Coronel takes us to the West End neighborhood.
1, 2, don't go faster.
This music class meant to move.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Move students in the right direction.
Listen for directions.
At the tip of their fingers, the key to success.
I like playing music because it's like a stress reliever and it's really fun to do.
Lessons learned in here matter. At the summer camp hosted by the St. Louis Association of Community Organizations, known as SLACO.
The music brings discipline, socialization. They learn how to play as a group.
Here, kids can just be themselves, playing instruments to playing basketball. This providing them calm amid the chaos. An EF3 tornado wrecked parts of their community, shattering a sense of stability.
This is kind of a safe place for them to come to. And their parents are working, trying to make a living, and they don't really have the ability to pay for daycare.
Since 2016.
How long have you been coming here?
Executive Director Kevin McKinney operates the camp, supporting about 25 kids every summer.
They like the camaraderie that they build up with each other.
The camp is no stranger to life's unpredictability.
We were able to handle the COVID crisis for 2 years. We dealt with violence in the city of St. Louis.
And the May tornado pitched its own curveball with complications.
From the winds, we lost some of our tile on our roof, and we caught a leak, and we were able to get that stopped, and we were out of AC, and we're still out of complete AC. We were able to salvage a unit.
To keep kids cool, the camp has launched a campaign.
We're actually asking the neighborhoods and the community to assist us with raising money to run the after-school program. And we need about $25,000 to get us through September.
$1,000 per child to help with food, transportation, supplies, and field trips. McKinney knows every single dollar is worth it. Every donation meant for a child's success.
I just want people to know that SLACO's here in the community. We've been here for 45 years. We're trying to do some things to support our children, the community.
3, 4.
Justina Cornell, 5 on Your Side.
And a donation of $25 covers meals and snacks for 1 child for a week. We have a full list on how your donation can help in the As Seen on TV section on KSDK.com.
Keeping your cool in the dangerous heat. Tonight, we verify if some common tips are helpful or just hot air.
High heat and humidity all week long. The weather impact alert continues through Thursday. I'll time out when rain chances become likely.
In this blistering heat, we are all trying to find ways to stay cool.
Several ways, if we can. Our Verify team found some of those methods, though, that you've probably heard over the years, may not actually help you out. Here's Megan Bragg.
Well, a lot of people try different things to beat the heat. With temperatures hitting the 90s, we are looking at the most common heat myths. So let's verify. Our sources: family physician Dr. Carla Robinson, the Mayo Clinic, the Cleveland Clinic, and the CDC. The first myth: acclimatization will protect you during a heat wave. According to the CDC, acclimatization happens when a person is exposed to extreme temperatures outside over a 7 to 10 day period. Though it can help you get used to heat, Dr. Robinson says it's not the best method during a heat wave.
But it does take some time to do so. And so in many cases, it's just not possible to rapidly do that when you have these heat waves come through like we've seen here recently.
So we are busting this myth for heat waves because you may not have that long to adjust. The next myth, you should take salt tablets during a heat wave to restore electrolytes.
They can have some pretty serious side effects if you expose your body to high levels of salt.
Both Dr. Robinson and the Cleveland Clinic agree and say most people are able to restore electrolytes by drinking electrolyte-infused water and eating foods containing electrolytes, especially fruits and vegetables. Too much salt during a heat wave could worsen the levels of dehydration. So unless your doctor says to take them, we can debunk this because most people should avoid salt tablets during a heat wave. And finally, a person will not sweat if they are experiencing heat stroke.
There are some people who won't sweat, but it's not a reliable predictor of heat stroke. The most reliable predictor of heat stroke is if you notice that the person is having neurological symptoms.
According to the Mayo Clinic, those symptoms can be nausea and vomiting, confusion, slurred speech, and seizures. So there's not a definitive answer for this one because although you can stop sweating, Dr. Robinson says everyone's bodies are different and don't use that as a first sign. With your Verify, I'm Megan Brown.
And meteorologist Jim Castillo is here with the weather impact forecast. We're looking at that Verify and all of those things. You know, the best thing to do
Salt
is
tablets.
Yeah, if you can, is just to stay indoors in the cool.
Yeah, find a way to cool off and stay hydrated. So here we have Pride, the festival coming up, and the parade on Sunday. Still hot. You know, likely the heat advisory will come to an end on Thursday night, but just everybody's going to be outside this weekend. A lot of different festivities and things going on. And those overnight lows have been so warm too. So 86 right now, heat index at 93 in St. Louis. And that dew point, you know, we don't see it going down into the 60s until early next week. And that's when we'll start to feel like the air is less steamy. So the heat alerts, there we go. The heat advisory in orange until about 9 p.m. on Thursday. And those heat indices, again, low 100s all the way through the afternoon. Not only tomorrow, but on Thursday. And then we get a slight break on Friday. But here's all that rain. It's been pretty widespread in northern Missouri and southern Iowa. The front is to our north right now, and we'll watch the position of that front. Looks like it'll stay north through Wednesday, and then we get into Thursday. It's still around Chicago. Chicago had a little rain today and a nice cooling, but we still have it to the north of us on Thursday. So a spot shower or storm until we get into late Sunday and into Monday. That front does get a little bit closer to us, and so it looks like a 50 to 60% chance of showers and storms on Monday. And that should start a little bit of a cooling, but don't get too excited. Again, those cooling numbers will be about 88 to about 92. So high pressure, it continues this week. Watch as I put this into motion. It kind of breaks apart a little bit, weakens, there it goes. And then it not only retrogrades to the west a little bit, it finally moves east as we get into Thursday and then dies down a little bit. So this weekend, we're not expecting a heat advisory, but still numbers in the low 90s for highs. And each and every afternoon, a spot shower or a storm is possible, but that good chance of rain really doesn't come into play here until we get into Monday, so possibly Sunday night. All right, so high temperatures the next few days, mid-90s, and it feels more like 100 to 105. Then we get into Friday, 94 Saturday, 93 Sunday, so still hot, still humid, still a spot shower or storm. And then Monday, that better chance of more widespread clouds, 92. And Tuesday, about 88. Doesn't that sound nice? 88?
No.
Better than 97.
Better than 108, I'll say that much.
Yes.
All right, thank you, Jim. Frank is up next with sports.
Rennie, the Cardinals are must-see TV. What a game. We will hear from one of the heroes. And what a day for our soccer greats from the past. We'll be right back.
And here's a look at the program streaming in late night on 5+. You can watch for free on your Roku, Apple, Fire, or Samsung TV.
Nothing could be better television than the Cardinals right now, not even the sportscast. You have the arch rival Cubs coming to town with their gaudy record, and the Cardinals decided this week to play their best baseball of the season. So they are now 8 games over 500. Remember, they've never been 9 games over 500. Stay tuned. All the Cardinals do is hit 2-run homers against the Cubs, Lars Nootbaar in the second, and it's 2-0 Redbirds. In the third, you guessed it, a 2-run homer. Mason Wynn. Cards cut the lead to 5-4 as that barely sneaks out. Nolan Gorman is figuring it out. 432 feet, a solo shot. We are tied at 5. Wynn doubled in 2, but here's the play of the game. Alec Burleson, sac fly. Pete Crow Armstrong caught it. He forgets how many outs there are, and Mason Wynn will streak from second to score. Cardinals up 8-5, and the defense, one of the catches of the year. Alec Burleson, he snags the fly as he runs into the netting, and the Cardinals win 8-7.
And how would you describe the last 2 nights of baseball here at Busch Stadium?
Yeah, tonight was super fun. I don't think me and Nick were talking about. I don't think I've yelled like that in a baseball game at the end of it. So, just back and forth, and a lot of offense, a lot of good pitching, a lot of good defense. So, if we can continue to play like that, continue to play hard, play our brand of baseball, we're gonna have a lot of games like that.
What I love about it is you never know which play, which run, which at-bat is going to be the most meaningful one of the game, and our guys continue to play every pitch with a ton of heart.
This morning at 9 a.m., the Blues broke out the new look. It's inspired by their previous Winter Classic. The jerseys, oh my goodness, they are just beautiful, aren't they? They unveiled the new uniform and a new logo. It's a rebrand, which I think will have a high approval rate. I don't know a soul who doesn't love that Winter Classic jersey from 2017. They have a new note and 3 alternate logos. Worldwide Technology Raceway is the only track in America to host NHRA, the IndyCars, and NASCAR. And this year will be the best year they've ever had, because on September 7th, the track will host its first ever NASCAR playoff event. Today, Kyle Larson, Brad Keselowski, and Eric Jones were at Worldwide Technology Raceway testing out tires for Goodyear. They'll be back on the 7th for the second race in the NASCAR playoffs. It will be something special, and the drivers know that will up the atmosphere.
This place is, it definitely deserves a Cup Series race. I feel like the fan base here in the Midwest is amazing. They like all forms of racing, but especially NASCAR, and the stands are packed here, even when the weather hasn't been that perfect, in the past. So I think moving it later in the year, the weather should be even better, and the crowd should be, even much more, or that much more lively.
So the Hill has plenty of landmarks. You can stop by Yogi Berra's house. You can get a sandwich at Joya's, Rennie. You can check out Piazza Imo in a span of just 2 or 3 minutes. Now you can celebrate its rich soccer history as well. The new mural outside Antonio's honors Frank Wallace, Gino Periani, Charles Colombo, Frank Gaborghi, Harry Keogh, the 5 local men on the 1950 U.S. national team who beat powerhouse England in the World Cup. It's one of the biggest upsets in sports history, and now with a permanent place to be remembered.
No, this neighborhood doesn't forget, and I mean, it's wonderful. It's been 75 years. I mean, I'm overwhelmed, to tell you the truth, and so is my family.
Full-time professionals against amateurs, and these guys were all amateurs. They all had regular jobs. My dad was a mail carrier, so they did something that no one expected, and it really put St. Louis on the map even more so.
And as many people will tell you, St. Louis is the soccer capital of the country, always has been, always will be, and it's because of those men from St. Louis who made it all happen.
Yeah. By the way, I have yet to go to Joya's.
Oh, you
And I've lived there for 21 years.
Oh, you don't know what you're missing.
I'm finding out every day, though. Thanks, Frank.
Delicious. Fun for the 4th. How much green Americans are spending to celebrate the red, white, and blue. Americans are gearing up for food, fun, fireworks, and freeways this 4th of July. According to AAA, a record 72 million people are expected to travel for the long holiday weekend. A majority will hit the road.
Now, when it comes to celebrating, a National Retail Federation survey says nearly $9 billion will be spent on food, which breaks down to about $92 per person, or in Frank's case, not enough. And 41% of Americans surveyed plan to attend fireworks or a community celebration.
Well, hopefully it'll be a little cooler the 4th of July.
Would be nice, Jim.
Wouldn't that be nice? I'll be out of the country.
So you're like, you guys are on your own.
No, but it's so hot now, and we're going to stay hot. So weather impact alerts through Thursday, and the heat advisory continues until 9 p.m. on Thursday. So mid-90s, and then we go into the low 90s, and yes, maybe some upper 80s by Tuesday. Best chance of rain will be on Monday.
That is all the time we have for 5 on your side at 10, but we're always streaming on 5+.
Start your day with Today in St. Louis beginning at 4 a.m. Have a great tomorrow.